Hi, this is Claire Louise, the Thrifty Stitcher, and welcome to my weekly video blog, Tales from the Thrifty Studio. Today I'm going to talk to you about the essential tools that you need to have in your sewing kit. I like to have 3 pairs of scissors in my kit. The first is a dressmaking pair. Now, can you note that I've put a little kind of ribbon on here to indicate that these scissors are for fabric. So don't let anyone cut out wrapping paper, wallpaper, or anything like that. As soon as you cut paper with a pair of scissors, you blunt the blade, and then when you cut out that lovely, delicious, slippery silk satin, it's not going to work very well. So this is a dressmaking length. It's an 8-inch blade. This is sort of the minimum length that you would want for a pair of scissors. I've then got a slightly smaller pair, and these have got a different colour tag on. This indicates that this pair is for paper. I still want a reasonable length of blade. If I'm cutting out paper patterns, commercial patterns, I don't want to be constantly using little small snips. So this is a pair of paper scissors. Those two are the minimum that you can really get away with in your kit. I recommend getting another small pair of scissors that you leave next to the sewing machine. Now, for this pair, I do recommend a slightly more expensive brand. These are Fiskars, and they're needlework scissors, and they're great for snipping when you start dressmaking and cutting notches, so they are worth the extra money. However, the paper and the dressmaking scissors, these are inexpensive, £15 for 4 pairs, and they're perfectly adequate for the hobby. This is a recent acquisition in my sewing toolbox, and I'm going to love it more and more. It's called a seam gauge. They're only about £2. They're relatively inexpensive, and what I love about this is there's a little ruler along here between that point and there, and I can preset this little slider to whatever measurement I want. So it's great when you start sewing and you're looking to learn how to pin 1.5 from the edge, or when you're pressing hems and you want a fixed point, and you just measure from that point to the red. Really good little tool. When you start turning through corners of lapels, you've got a little point turner. It's also great for marking up buttonholes. So this is called a seam gauge. You will need some tape measures. Now, I like to have 2 different types of tape measures. One I buy with a fixed end on the end of it like this. The advantage of this is if I need to take someone's inside leg, instead of putting my fingers into their groin, I can slide this little stiff end, and that helps me with the inside leg. And it's good for places where you want to measure something and you don't want the tape measure to rumple up. So a fixed end tape measure is a good addition to your kit. However, if I wanted to use this to take a circumference, the fixed end is actually a disadvantage. So I have another type of tape measure in my kit, and this has got a soft end. And again, you can see with the tape measures, it's a good idea to get them in inches and in centimetres, because if you're working with patterns, it'll always be in inches, but you may have learnt to use centimetres because we're in Europe, not America. So you need 2 different types of tape measures. Not expensive, about £1.50 in your local haberdashers. Another measuring aid that I like to have is a flexible ruler. Sadly, these are only now available in America, but it's quite easy to order online from the States, and you may find something like this in a quilting shop. It's an 18-inch ruler, and it's 2 inches wide, and the flexibility means it's great for doing alterations and hems and things. It's also got graded lines, so it allows me to just quickly measure up if I want to shorten a 1/2 inch hem. I've got a bold 1/2 inch line. So this is a graded flexible ruler. So that's the end of my video on tools of the trade, and I hope you enjoy setting up your sewing kit.